Hi friends, Day Trader Matt here, and thanks for stopping by. The trading industry, the trading landscape has definitely changed recently, and mostly to the fact of high frequency trading. Now, high frequency trading has not changed things the way a lot of people say that it has. A lot of people blame it for, they can't get fills because of it, and they get stopped out a lot more because of it. And, really, I see it, people just blaming something. I couldn't get to work today because of traffic, or, I couldn't get a decent grade because one person got such a high score that they couldn't give a curve, or, whatever it is. And that's the society that we live in. Everybody likes to blame other people rather than actually take responsibility for something. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that high frequency trading has changed the landscape, because it definitely has. But it hasn't changed it to the effect where you can't make any money trading. And, do I make money every day? Of course not. I don't know anybody, I've never met anybody who's made money every day. I don't think it is possible. I'm not going to say it's out of the realm of possibility. Maybe somebody trades for a couple months, makes money every day, but it's very, very highly unlikely, and I've never done it. Have I been 100% for a week? Yeah, of course. I've been trading for a while. Have I been 100% for a month? Never. It's kind of difficult, especially when you're making trades every single day, and you're making multiple trades every single day. The odds are stacked against you to make every trade positive. But anyway, back to high frequency trading. If you don't know what it is, basically it's computer algorithms controlling how the market moves. A lot of times they'll see a big order, they'll jump in on it, or certain levels they'll look at. A lot of them work like Fibonacci levels, sort of. And nowadays, 70%, and maybe a little bit more than that, the volume is controlled by algorithms. And a lot of your algorithms, a lot of your automated systems that make that volume are controlled by the larger brokerage houses, larger banks, your Goldman Sachs, probably your JP Morgan, your big companies. And they spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to create these. And your average person, although it sounds really good, I can buy this automated trading system and I can go to the beach and make money. Yeah, it sounds awesome. But is it really going to happen? You're going to spend maybe a couple hundred or a couple thousand, $2,000-$3,000 for an automated trading system, and you're going to compete with these big guys spending hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars on their system. And to realistically think that you're going to be able to compete with these guys seems ludicrous to me. Now, I've seen people buy systems and it works for a couple months and then it quits working. Just like custom indicators. They buy custom indicators, they work for a little while, and then they quit working. And it just seems like that's the way the market's going. And that's why a lot of the losing traders tend to fail. And a lot of them drop out of the market because they have these unrealistic beliefs. They think, hey, I can get into the market, I can buy a couple systems and let them work, and I can make 500% every single month. I'm going to start with $500, and then that's very, very unrealistic. And it seems like a lot of new traders have these unrealistic expectations. Now, I want to tell you my story, so that way, if you don't know anything about me, you can, get to know me a little bit. I was introduced to trading in late 1998 by my uncle. He was a fundamental investor, and he was president of his investment club, which was made up 100% of fundamental investors. Now, I know that in the late 90s, fundamental investing was not a term ever used. Everything was way, way overvalued. And, you had Yahoo trading at $250 a share. And, in the late 90s, early 2000, that dropped dramatically. But everything was like that. So coming into the market, seeing it from a value investor or a fundamental, it was very interesting. And I did learn a little bit. The main thing I learned was I needed to learn technical analysis. And but the value investing was good because in 2002, 2003, I got to pick up a ton of bargains. Priceline went down to $1. Apple Computer went to $14. It might have dropped into 13 something. I'm not exactly sure. But a ton of phenomenal bargains. Your Microsoft, your Applied Materials, ton of bargains. And it was, something that I got to witness firsthand, and I got to, know that, hey, I don't know this. I need to learn something. You have your 4 stages of learning. Your first stage is you don't know that you don't know anything, which was when I was first introduced to the market in the late 90s. I saw it, it looked really cool, and it's like, I don't really know how to do this, but my uncle showed me this, and everything is way overvalued. And then I come into the realization that, hey, I don't know this, but I know that I don't know it. And then the learning begins. I realized I needed at least a strategy. I needed a strategy that showed me a good buy or sell area, also which direction to trade in, and that showed me very, very quickly if I was right or wrong. So that's what I knew that I needed. And I worked on trying to create that. So, it did take me a few years to get something under my belt because I didn't have a mentor. Everybody that I knew that traded with technical analysis, none of them actually made money. So, it's kind of hard to say, well, I know that this can work, but nobody can do it. And the reason I knew that it could work is because all these people were making large amounts of money. You had your Warren Buffett, obviously your big banks, your Goldman Sachs, your JP Morgans, your Lehman Brothers, different companies like that. They obviously are able to make money, so technicals have to work. So it was kind of like the believing is seeing type of thing, whereas a lot of people, you have to see things to really believe it. Let me see the stats on this, and let me see why this works, and then you can believe it. So it was kind of like I call it the Santa Claus, or you can call it the religion. You believe it, and then it's possible, but you never actually see, no one has actually seen Santa Claus. Santa Claus, obviously, in my mind, I don't think he's real. But I am religious. I'm not going to get into that. That's a totally different topic. But that's something you believe. You don't really actually see with your own eyes. So anyway, the market has come down from the tech bubble. And I'm creating the system. And now I'm starting to actually learn and starting to make money. So I know that I know. Everything is a conscious effort. I have to look at things, and I have to actually formulate my opinion and everything. And then a few years later, then it becomes a subconscious process where you just look at it and you formulate your decision, and you just know that it's going to work out. It's either going to prove you right or prove you wrong. And it's not in the right or wrong sense as the rest of the world is. I run a red light, that's wrong, you're not supposed to do that. But when it turned green, I went, and that's right. Trading is totally different. Right or wrong doesn't mean bad or good. It means just what it is, right or wrong. If you place a trade and it proved you wrong, but you went in the guidelines of your system, that was actually a good trade. So it was good even though you were proven wrong. That makes sense. I want to talk much more about that in later videos. But I just want you to know where I came from. And after about 2008, I started actually seeking people out on the internet because I knew how to trade, and now it's boring because I'm trading by myself, and trading really should be boring. When it becomes boring, that's when you know that you can do it, when it becomes boring. Well, now I'm seeking people out on the internet to try to, get some like-minded trading friends. So everybody that I'm meeting on the internet is a new trader. Most of them are not making money. And, but I wanted to make friends. So if we share commonalities, whether they're a good trader or not, it doesn't really matter. As long as we have those commonalities, we can talk. So I, put together this group. We would meet every day on Skype or every other day on Skype. And they were, encouraging me, hey, will you teach me this, teach me that. And I was already working on a website because before I was introduced to trading, I was learning I was going to college for computer programming, which I dropped out of. I was programming in high school on my own, and then when I got into college, that's what I was majoring in, and I dropped out. That's kind of normal, I guess. But anyway, I do have a love for computers, so I was working on this website. And my friends were like encouraging me to, teach trading, show me how to do this, show me how to do that. I was like, all right, that's, no worries. I'm building this website, so I'll just make it about trading and I'll teach you guys. So that's how the website got started. And I feel that, what separates me from my competitors is that I remember everything and I have detailed notes. I know where I was in 1998. I know where I was in 2003, 2007, 2008, and I know where I'm at today in 2012. And I think that goes a long, long way, and that definitely separates me from my competition. My charts, I don't have a lot of stuff on there. I don't have 15 different indicators. I don't have, 3 different indicators. I don't use a lot of the stuff that's popular, the moving averages, the stochastic, the MACDs. My charts are very, very plain. And I think that separates me as well. But, much more than that, it's my knowledge. I know where I was. I know how I started. I know why it was so hard. And, I know the best way to learn. I've done brain research. My mom actually got her master's in brain research. She did her thesis on that. And I became very, very interested in that. Our brains are the most sophisticated computers in the world. So why would we not learn how to master our brains in order to help us learn new skills? So I know a lot about that. Of course, I'm not the foremost expert in the world on that. I'm not the foremost expert in the world on anything. I don't claim to be. I never do. I don't know everything about trading. I don't know everything about recording a video like I'm doing right now. It's just, I'm just, talking. But I do know a lot. And, I'm set everything up to share that information. That's what I'm trying to do today. But I think that's mainly what separates me from everybody. And knowing how the brain works, I know a lot about psychology and trader psychology. And all of that combined, will make you a better trader. And, to learn a new skill, you have to first change what's in here. And then you can learn that new skill. Because if you don't change what's in here, you can learn that new skill, but you don't really have, as great of a foundation as you could have had. It's similar to building a house in a sandbox or building a house on actual land. Or building a house in the middle of the ocean. One of those is a better way than the others. And one of those 3 is like the worst way possible. So, that's what I try to do with people. I try to, work with analogies, and that's the best way to explain stuff. And I think that's what really, really stands apart. Really what makes me different. And I think that's, the best thing, to be able to give you meat rather than sugarcoat something and, or selling software. I think trading should be free. I have a free trading platform that I use, Thinkorswim. It's some of the best charts out there, especially that doesn't cost anything. My broker is a dedicated futures broker. You don't necessarily have to use my broker. The only reason I recommend my broker is because the more people we get under that one broker, the cheaper our commissions are going to be. That's it. You can use any broker, and I have a few different brokers that I recommend. I only use one. I don't get paid anything to recommend anything that I recommend. I don't think you should, I don't really believe in that. I don't believe in selling software. I don't believe in selling indicators. I have a couple indicators that I use, but people have been using that similar. Indicator is not necessarily the best word because it's not necessarily an indicator, but it's something that I use to show a visual representation. And if I didn't have it on my chart, I would still know what's going on. And because usually what I have up, you can see 3 different ways, because I think that's the best way to do things. But I give those away for free. I don't charge for software or indicators, only for my time. So anyway, with that, thanks a lot for watching this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you want to email me, below this video is a contact form. Definitely would appreciate that. Leave a comment. Definitely would appreciate that as well. And stay tuned for the next video, my friends. Thanks.